Mighty Misfit Menagerie, or...
Yeah. Helena's the best.
Welcome. We are at episode 42 of Candlekeep Mysteries. This is book 13, the Book of Inner Alchemy, by Daniel Kwan.
Who is from Toronto.
And is friends with.
And it's friend with one of our patrons in Helena's world. So this is very exciting. Would anybody like...
The opinions of Helena does not reflect the opinions of the entirety of the corporation.
It does now! Scratch that.
She's DMing.
Struck from the record.
We are an LLC, just...
You were on warning. Starting early tonight with the warnings.
I am a female supremacist, so...
I am so happy. I'm so happy with Helena's getting drunk on power. I love to see it. Please continue.
Yeah, I'm really worried you guys are going to do some shit. They're going to fuck up all my well-laid plans.
Do you want me to get you a shot? Oh.
It's with the shots of power. All right, so with our last mystery ended in the strange place of Wisteria Vale, which is not really even a place. I'm not really sure where we ended up with that. Were those people real?
No, they were not.
Okay. So...
And they no longer exist, so we don't have to worry about any repercussions.
We're good.
Right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Aaron Quill, Hank, what ended up happening with him?
He reassimilated back into
The Harpers?
Harpers.
Did Kirill get a nod
A nod.
into the Harpers? Because that's why he was doing the job.
I mean, did he ask for it?
I would have, when we were heading out, as everything was getting wrapped up, we were back with Quill there when he was recovering. I would have, it's been such an honor to meet you, sir. If you ever are looking for perhaps further aid with music-related affairs,
Maybe the harp.
yes,
Chords.
I've been told that I am a capable harperist. Leave him my contact information in case.
Well, you also could leave it with the drow guy, too.
Yeah,
Your slighted drow?
my slighted drow. I didn't slight him.
Didn't you?
I don't think so.
Should we roll?
Figured out.
Yes, it has been a full year since the events in Wisteria Vale. Please tell me, what have you all been up to?
Want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay, since I have an agenda. So, first things first, every single weekend I have planned an event with Kirill if it is possible with the schedule. So I am actively courting you. I don't know how you feel about that. Benlin is quite nervous about the romantic side of things, so you're going to have to take the reins of that. But he is being very opaque about that's what he wants, but he's also being respectful. Because he is not Naya.
Oh, opaque as in transparent?
Yeah, opaque is not.
Oh, transparent. He's like, this is a date.
Okay.
We are going on a romantic picnic. You know what I mean? But he won't hold your hand unless you hold his, or you know what I mean? Like he's being very respectful of you. But that's what he's doing on the weekends. During the week, he spends the first 20 weeks of the year learning how to work with leather and cloth. So he gets leatherworking tools and weaver's tools, as per the rules listed in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. And then he spends the following 10 weeks after learning the leatherworking tools making armor for Kirill. So it's on your character sheet already, but you have glamored studded leather, which is a +1 studded leather. So... but you can, as a command, turn it into any clothing you wish.
Perfect. Okay.
So, you can wear it during your performances, when we're traveling,
Keep it.
Yeah. So whatever you want it to look like, it can look like whatever you would like.
Okay. Awesome.
After that, I bang out your dagger, and it is a dagger of warning. It should already be on your character sheet, which gives you advantage on initiative checks, and we can't be surprised, because it literally warns you of danger.
Very cool.
I was going to just give you a +1, but that was the same price, and it's magical, and I thought you would like the advantage on initiative.
Yes.
And also, we can't be surprised as long as we're within 30 feet of you, which I thought would be good for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why I did that. It is called Lookout. That's the name of that dagger.
I now almost have to, when I go to stab with it, shout, "Look out!"
So it is a magical hammer. So like as far as like overcoming damage resistance, it will still work, but it doesn't have a +1 to anything. But
Okay.
I thought you would enjoy those benefits more than just a plain +1.
I do.
Also, if people want to pay me back for this, I took the rest of the money that you gave me for that dagger, and I made everyone in the party, and I got your cloak from you so I could edit it. I made everyone in the party matching cloaks that have like symbols representing us. So we're now
nice.
the Witchlight Knights, and they're all cloaks of protection.
Yay.
So everyone in the party now has a cloak of protection that matches. So I took yours and edited yours.
We're the Witchlight Knights.
Yeah, that's what we decided our name was, the Witchlight Knights. No, I'm sorry.
Candlekeep?
We're the bookkeepers. So it's the bookkeepers. The
It's
bookkeepers.
like, huh?
Sorry.
I was very confused.
Crossing the streams here.
That's what we decided. We're the Witchlight Knights.
Don't cross the streams.
And then I don't know if we want to role play it, but you did approach me to do a custom thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want to cover that in yours, but that was the last thing I did.
I probably just asked you, like, hey, you look like you're making stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to make a sunblade?
Describe it.
It's like a sword handle,
Mm-hmm.
and then it like makes a blade, but like out of like light.
Oh, so like a light saber in a way.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. And then I spend 10 weeks building that for well. And then also, I'm sorry, I'm taking up all this time. But
Nope, you're good.
I spent a year crafting and doing nice things for my friends. But in the evenings, while so on my main holidays for Shantae, I've been going to Shantae services. I've also been working in LaRue services whenever I can and doing like smaller gatherings towards the worship of LaRue ever since we had that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now, since I took 6th level druid, I changed my subclass per the rules in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything to where I am now. I'm now that one as opposed to I've moved past Spore and now have that.
Does it change your appearance in any way?
Not really. I just don't like sprout mushrooms anymore. You know, like so now it's just more like clean crop kind of stuff and like more of an animalistic bent. So now I have like my Shantae clasp and then like also like a LaRue like unicorn.
Very cool.
Carol, how did you end things or continue things with our Harper and the professor that Naya set you up with? Who both loved you. And how have you been doing with them?
So I just have a correspondence friendship with the professor. Because we live so far apart, it's hard to get together. Like, it's not.
Did you guys sleep together?
No.
Okay.
No.
Still.
We're not Naya.
Naya's ambitious, it's fine.
I think I probably had a fling with the elf when we were still figuring out what this was.
Okay.
And then once.
Who wrote that note? Are you going to ever tell us? No, we're never going to know. Got it.
It was Benlin.
Wait, remind me what the note was?
The note that came under your door.
I don't remember
When
what
we
it
were
It
at
was
said.
the-
mine, so we didn't know if the professor or the Harper gave it to you.
What did it say again?
We just looked good seeing you.
Yeah, I was like, good to
Like-
see you. Hope we can talk
spend more time
yeah.
together, something like that.
Yeah.
Something flirty.
I did.
Get analyzed.
I think I would try and figure it out, but I write letters to the professor, so I should recognize his handwriting.
Who was that professor?
Okay.
Okay.
Was it on my?
So,
Oh.
I mean, it could have been the Gorgon. Like, she was just like,
Yeah.
great to see you. I'm so excited to meet you. Like, we're friends.
Come visit more.
I think we just never progressed again because of distance, because it was just difficult to, like, bridge the gap from Candlekeep to Silvery Moon.
Plus, he's gonna outlive you by a couple
A lot.
centuries.
I mean, that I'm used to. You grew up around a lot of bards. There's species around. I think it took about 6 months of the courting before Curel was finally like, you have consent. want to be pursued.
And Ben was like, "Oh, okay."
Like, took your hand and like put it on his hand.
Aw.
Naya is going insane.
He's just watching all these like chaste picnics.
You basically are just like, pursue me, daddy.
It just means it will be all that more powerful when it finally happens.
Yeah.
I hope.
And then
When you see the last of his spores blasted out of the window of the tower, and
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh,
he's left being a spore.
yeah, I consent to that. That makes sense. And then he's much more aggressive, but still polite. And then I would just like to put it as canon that I personally, when I pick Genasi, I think they are a little bit longer lived, because in the book they live like 50 years. I'm like, that makes no sense to me. So I think we're of similar ages. Is what I'm saying. It's like, I don't want to die in 20 years, like after like pursuing you.
I think you are older than me, but not by a lot.
Yeah, I'm in my 40s. So.
And I'm in like mid 30s at this point, because we've been doing this for a while, like in campaign time wise. So
I might be 50 now. Actually.
so it's like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, I'm 50, 51.
I think.
Curel's
I
cloak.
didn't pay attention at all, so how much time the whole game has taken, but
We've been here 60
I'm hoping
years.
it definitely feels like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Kirill requested for his cloak that it be blue with a silver trim, and there is a lute in silver stitching on the back of it.
And then there's also symbols representing the rest of us too.
Yes.
But like lesser.
Oh, cool.
The only problem is you are full up on attunement slots, so you're gonna have to choose whether you want the cloak or something else.
Well, it looks like I already have a cloak of protection.
I added it,
Right. So,
but it won't show up. It won't work unless you attune to it.
okay.
Is what I'm saying. So
Gotcha.
It's in your inventory. We can sell it if you don't want it.
No, I'm going
But-
to keep it.
It's
kidding me?
not giving you any magical benefit at this time.
I see. That's fine. Gotcha.
But I got you up to a 70.
I might get rid of my ring of shooting stars then and get my cloak of protection.
Yeah.
So,
Worth it.
Do you guys
right.
feel like you're monogamous then
I think Benlin
after this year's passed?
I think Benlin is more like, it's kind of like,
Have you made a commitment, or is it still just?
I mean, we've only been, I mean, it's been a year.
It's 6 months until we actually started like holding hands and touching each other. But that sounded worse than I meant it to. So yeah, like 6 months
You can
in, I
now
feel like,
answer all of Naya's burning questions
I feel like
about Earth Genasi, about Earth Genasi anatomy.
I think that
For
the way that
science, really.
Kirill's been monogamous on his side of it just because he doesn't have any interest in pursuing anything.
And
It's still,
Benlin
like,
is super monogamous.
Yes.
Like, he's the exact opposite of Cody.
But so it's just monogamy out of that's lack of opportunities and.
I don't know about lack of
complacency.
Well, he wasn't really pursuing anybody outside of this. Yeah, so like he's happy to have a companion and like enjoying their relationship and doesn't really have like a want or a need to do anything else. So
And Benlin waited 6 months to sleep with this guy. He doesn't need to sleep with anybody else. You know what I mean?
I put in my time here.
Well, and like Benlin in his previous relationship was like it's just, he's kind of like clingy romantic, where it's like everything is about you. You know what I mean? Like, which I think fits
And
Kirill.
Hero, yeah. Very much enjoy that. And I think they still have their own separate like rooms, but spend most of the nights in one or the other.
Anything else happen with your guys' families, or did you go traveling? Or?
I don't have to.
Okay, well, if anybody.
I have my
else in
dad.
life-
Take him around.
Hey, Dad, you want to go for a spin?
Wait, honey, Dad's on the nightstand watching.
Yeah.
Oh no, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
He
take
gets
him off
put,
and you
he gets put in a deep part of my closet when he's not being carted around.
I stopped responding to the dragon's letters.
Okay.
Once we started getting more serious, I just stopped responding to her.
Just ghosted? Okay.
And I think there's an awkward conversation for Benlin where he goes to Naya and he's like, I'm afraid that Kirill's experience is going to outshadow mine, so I need you to teach me some stuff.
We have several intimacy workshops.
Everybody assumes because he's a bard, he's been around. He really hasn't.
So I go away one weekend and then I come back and I suddenly know a lot more stuff.
You asked me about this, and I set up a workshop with you, and then I also invite Kirill, so he's also there.
Oh, I don't know if Benlin would do that.
You don't want to.
That's too much vulnerability.
What, have sex in front of Naya? No.
Be that. I would respect those boundaries.
I just imagine if Kirill wasn't aware of it, coming up to Naya and being like, I think Benlin's cheating on me. He was gone for that weekend, and like...
And now...
And the switch?
That's gonna be the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say. Okay. Cool. So that's cool. So
Boyfriend.
Bo, how have you
Skipping through the
dealt with
photos.
this year? Have you continued to serve Candlekeep? And did we scare your boyfriend away?
No, he's like obsessed.
We're obsessed with him, to be
Yeah.
fair. I think we all write him letters now. If I haven't said that in the last year, we all are pen pals with your boyfriend now.
Kirill uses him for research. Like he'll like write him letters like questions and things, and
I think like the first like couple months back, like Bo went and like visited him or like first couple weeks or whatever. Or like stayed there. And then I think he came back and like did work for Candlekeep. And then maybe like 9 months into the year, Cal like showed up at Candlekeep and was like, "Hey, I'm studying here now."
He's in the
So,
crowd now?
I don't know if I think he's like working his way towards an avowed, but he's like on loan here from Silver Moon.
double dates.
Because 9 months, that's right when we're like in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's getting random messages from Zindi just at odd times. Just like, hey, what's going on?
He responds.
Love it.
I do love the idea, and like any of you tell me this doesn't work for your characters, but that we would like triple date with Naya, and she just brings a different date every time.
Love it.
Sometimes they're in a mask, sometimes they're on a leash. Sometimes we have tea off of them.
One time they were in a cage and
Yeah.
we just balanced the teacups on the cage.
It's all part of the intimacy workshops.
And then sometimes they're
If you would attend, you would
ethereally beautiful fey creatures that just kind of,
Hang out. Just look pretty. But yeah.
Awesome. Anything? So any other things you want to mention? Okay.
You got a Sunblade now?
I did get
You
some.
got the nice.
I will say one last thing. I'm sorry to bring it back on this side of it. I think that with Benlin working on these things all the time, Kirill would have worked as like a research assistant of like bonding time, where like if you need to know something, I'll go find the information and like bring you more on.
I mean, because to be fair, he's retired. He only has to do 8 hours a day for 5 days. That's why he has like weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's not like, it's not like when he went after his dad and he was like burning at the stone. Like this is more like, I'm just gonna go to a workshop today. It's my job now. I'm retired. I'm working on my projects. You know what I mean? Like that's where he's at. You know, learning to sew. He leaned on you heavily. He was like, well, okay, so how do I do the brocade again?
This is where the dexterity comes in. I also just love that, like, and this is no offense meant to Benlin whatsoever, but you're the boomer that made the proper investment in this platinum mine and retired early. Which actually means that we all probably could have, but we're not.
Yeah, no.
I'm
We
only
made bad choices. Having a lot of
22.
debt.
So like no, I'm not retired yet.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm probably like 34 at this point.
I think at this point, Zindi's probably like 25, 26-ish, because we've had...
It's been 4 years, I think we said canonically.
Well, but she hasn't been along for all of those 4 years.
Oh.
So it's only been
it's
a
been
couple.
at least 2 years.
Yeah, so that's
since
why
you joined
25,
us.
25, 26 is probably where she is.
You're a grown ass man, Paige.
Yeah.
So I think after we got back from Wisteria Vale, Zindi probably really dove heavily into researching beholders, and she kind of dragged Drasimir into that, and so it became like research project where they start developing a relationship.
And now that Benlin's in a relationship, he thinks everyone should be in. So he is now on Naya's team.
So
Where did Casimir come into play?
he had come in as kind of like the same thing as your boyfriend,
Him,
like
well, visiting scholar.
visiting scholar, researching whatnot, and so I kind of pulled him into that. And so I don't
Because
know.
Strixhaven is technically a separate universe, so this is Faerun's version of Drasimir.
Yeah.
Works.
Different
I didn't
Drasimir.
remember his meetings.
Yeah. So, like, I think we'd started off as like pen pals for a little bit, and
No, I
he
think
came
we established that he wasn't avowed the entire time. Like, you guys were both avowed.
I could have sworn that he was, like, kind of a traveling, just visiting.
I don't remember.
Visiting
I can go find
person.
the episode.
That's fine. But either way, so she really starts to connect with Drasimir about the Beholder and kind of deep dives into all these other creatures that are very similar. And so they get really that's their project. Like, you guys had your building and constructing of items and cloaks and whatnot, and then they're both in the books doing research and getting really cuddly and like looking over the books together, and just it's very slow burn. But probably by the end of a year they are officially together,
Officially holding hands or
Officially-
together?
officially holding hands out in public,
Okay.
like having dinner together.
Oh, we're all at the hearth, me doing my cross stitching. We're just all like there at dinner.
Every time that they kind of like go off giddy to do their next research thing, Kirill will like lean over to Bo and Benlin and be like, off to their aberration station.
Is
Pretty
that what they're
much.
calling it these days?
I'm gonna send them some chocolates with something laced in it so we can hurry this along.
I don't know about that.
What they don't know.
I am fully Team Naya now.
Yeah, but that's taking away someone's ability to say no.
What they don't know is that although outwardly it is very chaste and whatnot, they've gotten pretty far. They've gotten there. They've got spending a lot of time together and whatnot. But yeah, on the outward view, it looks like they're very
I mean, you gotta
cutesy,
practice
cuddly.
Awesome.
And to clarify, I don't mean like love potion chocolates. I mean like aphrodisiac chocolates.
Some to
Like with some oysters in there.
Chopped up oysters in the chocolate.
Benlin is like, Paige, cook oysters tonight.
I don't need your permission. I just go cook oysters. I got a kitchen at home.
Well, you've always been an excellent acolyte, so I would say you probably were offered the position of great reader if you wanted to move up one level. You will have some extra responsibilities. You'll be teaching, you'll have acolytes under you, and you'll have, additional responsibilities with the other readers. So you can accept or decline that.
I think Cindy would absolutely accept that.
What does that mean
So
for her
excited.
place in our group, though?
I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to. I think people are going to frown on it, you adventuring more and more.
Mhm.
That's maybe why this last year hasn't been super active for you in terms of that. There's no like rule saying you can't, but whenever you have to leave, someone else has to cover your duties.
That's why Drazimir's here.
You have somebody
Wow.
that can always help you out.
Love it.
She's gotta wait for her sabbatical for the next adventure.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, like, if it is Candlekeep sanctioned, it would make sense to send a representative.
Yeah.
So, like, you could get around it that way.
Sure.
That's always the loophole that the boss doesn't want to hear. He's like, technically right.
I'm going on Candlekeep business.
It would be
What do you
inappropriate to send this group of people without supervision.
With proper representation from our
You
organization.
know the tabaxi.
Unsavory bedfellows constantly, and I always have to take care of things when you're gone. Drazimir's nice and all, but the acolytes walk all over him.
I'll talk to him about being a little more firm and steadfast in his delivery.
It's
I'm
like
sure
double
you
the size
will.
of everyone at the library. Jasimir is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Firm and steadfast in your delivery, name of his sex tape.
What's a sex tape again?
Name of his erotic manuscript.
There we go. Yeah.
His erotic poem.
Yeah. Firm steadfast
Not even
delivery.
Once was a man from
That's
Nantucket.
the Page, who's a grown-ass man now.
There is one more thing
Oh,
I would
okay.
also like to do. I'm sorry, before
Sure.
Paige gets. I would like to approach. I feel like me and Kirill, and you can say if you don't agree with this, we have a lot of good faith with Candlekeep at this point. I would like to approach the Avowed to get Paige officially sanctioned as the same position as Kirill, where he like works for Candlekeep to appear and like go on missions and stuff. So he's like officially recognized.
Okay, so I would say, why don't you make 3 persuasion checks?
Go for it, babe.
So the first time it was fuck no, hell no, and then the second time, so it's taken a couple times. We'll see how far you get.
I was thinking as
Yeah, of
as
course.
he's mentioning that Zindi might actually assist. Like she would add her voice
Kirill
to that.
has advantage.
I kind of needed it a little bit there. So 25.
Okay. Second one. That got you a second meeting.
25.
Okay. That got you a third meeting, and they're starting to soften.
Oh shoot. 28.
Oh, okay.
I was just having a math moment.
You picked just the right snacks to bring to the final meeting. Paige had recently cut his hair, which was something that the bookworm had always hated about him, how his hair was
Roughshod he
everywhere.
was.
So tousled.
And so he was feeling he'd also gotten laid the night before, so he was
Thank you,
feeling
Naya.
good. So he approved this,
What? She just set it up.
gave you a very stern lecture, and then also told you that he's holding you personally responsible. So
I would
Paige
expect-
Salvation, agent of Candlekeep.
That's so cool.
I would expect nothing less, and I have all the faith in the world that our Master Salvation here will prove himself worthy of his name.
I hope so. I've always believed that people can change.
Yeah.
Enjoy those shrimp sticks. That is so
What
good,
else,
the
Paige?
Avowed and seafood.
Benjamin and I had a meeting at some point a little bit earlier on,
Mhm.
and because Benlin is retired, Paige is now basically in Benlin's old position of like running the hearth, making sure the ingredients come in, make sure everything's FIFO'd, however it's said, things like that. He's still seeing Pia. I'd like to
Yay.
think that Pia goes off to the homestead, make sure everything's buttoned up there, comes back, hangs out for a little while, earns her keep.
You got a long term, you got a long
then-
distance college girlfriend?
Tuple dates! We
just
were
have-
at 6 tuple dates?
We just have family dinners with whoever Naya's sleeping with that week.
Yep.
She's not necessarily sleeping with them, she's courting them. And...
But I mean, that might be client.
That hasn't gone
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
And then in my head, I thought it would be really funny if after a few months of this, like, of Paige kind of running the ship, Benlin being retired and doing his crafts, that, like, Paige is like, hey, I miss you. Can we get lunch once a week or something?
Aw.
So I feel like we do, like, Sunday morning
Yeah.
something.
Aw.
yet. Yeah, I like it.
if I'm not busy with Kirill, of course.
Yeah.
And
And then,
Kirill's like, have brunch with him.
No, I'm just saying, if we don't have plans,
I will not make plans.
there you go.
yeah, absolutely. And then Pia stays for a while, and in my head, I was like, how does that work? He's really like, ah! And then after a little bit, it turns into
I'm
like a
married to a
Bob and
Mexican.
Linda.
Oh, Bob and
Bob and
Linda
Linda for
Burgers.
Bob's
I love
And
it.
it's like, no, it's not really Paige. So he's still decently young and rambunctious.
That's like Paige, yeah, I'm like 50 years.
I mean,
Yeah.
Benlin turns every one of your brunches into a cooking lessons, so I would like to rule that he gains cooking utensil proficiency because it takes 10 weeks.
Of course.
Sure.
So you now know
Gotta
cooking
know-
utensils.
Yeah, he's running the herd basically.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
probably required that of you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I just think like all of you guys know Pia. And then one morning after she's
Do we
there for
like
2
Pia?
weeks,
Is she great?
Hold on.
Is she basically Kerrigan? Can you just say she's Kerrigan?
she's a tabaxi
Give her a
too.
charm on.
So you now have 2 tabaxis running around.
What kind of tabaxi is she?
Tubaxi.
Give her a +2 charisma roll. See if you like her.
The beast with tubaxis.
Oh, Jesus. That was a 7.
Oh,
Plus 2 is
boy.
9.
Plus 2 is 9.
Assist.
Assist?
Assisted us liking her? That's not.
You
Oh,
would.
I didn't know what we were rolling for. It's like, I'll help. I'll help.
Throw it out there.
Ah, that was 2 7s.
Well,
You know,
we're reserved.
she's a little rat.
They're
rabbit,
young.
perhaps.
They're
Yeah.
young.
Is she really good enough for our page?
You know, let's let
yeah.
it get it out of his system.
I know.
I think that Kirill has tried to be like incredibly supportive, and like anytime the topic comes up when Paige isn't around, is being like, give her a chance. She's out a lot. We don't get to see her very often. You just don't know her yet. If Paige likes her, then that means that she's special.
Oh, and I understand that, but I mean, also when we saw her over at the spa, you know, and they just seemed, it was just very superficial, and I just have a hard time understanding. I don't know.
She asks for over medium eggs when she means over hard eggs every single time. And I make her over medium eggs, and then she complains and thinks I can't hear her.
To be perfectly fair, tabaxi often appear vapid because they're living in the moment.
This feels like a racist conversation. I don't see what her being a tabaxi has to do with it.
Paige,
Is Paige.
I know, but he's all over the place. He does a lot of things. His mind's always racing.
Because he's Paige. It's how we raised him. It's our fault.
Well, I don't know about that.
Huh?
I said, well, I don't know about that. 'Cause I'm roughly his age.
We were very hands off when he was young. Because
Yeah.
Benlin has leaned into Paige as my
I was like,
adoptive son,
hands off,
100%.
because I didn't met him until he was like 16. Like,
I thought it was like 12 or 13.
oh,
No,
okay.
yeah, he was real young when
Yeah.
we met Paige. That's why it's such a big deal. Like, he's like a grown ass man now, you know what I mean? Because he was pretty young.
He's the hero of his people.
yeah.
Yay.
And now
He
he's
has the best arc in Candlekeep.
That was
for
great.
me.
I'm very excited.
I love it.
What's Naya been up to?
All right.
Unless
Was there
you're not
anything
done.
else? I'm sorry.
No, I'm so, yes.
No, that was it. Just running the hearth and like doing adult things, but like still tries to get into trouble on the weekends because you can't lose that.
And now you have a house at Candlekeep. Because you're officially like sanctioned by Candlekeep. So you live like in the dorms with us or whatever, however we live there.
I think when we were doing the Benlin leaving thing, we all had like little apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Naya traveled a lot this past year, kind of coming back, I guess, every other month for these intimacy workshops.
Every weekend. She needs to come back every weekend. So
No.
we can have brunch.
Comes back as often as she can. About 6 months in, she came back and introduced you all to a man, Smith West. He is a sun elf who is a little bit older relatively to her, and he runs a company called Gone Westing, which is river cruises and ocean voyages.
I love it.
She went full suburban?
He used to be a performer and worked his way up to kind of save money and eventually buy a boat and then several boats, and now he's very successful. Not an adventurer at all, just kind of and he likes to travel too. So they met on one of his cruises, and he visited Candlekeep. Let's go and give him a roll for charm, I guess. I'm gonna borrow this.
I really need us to like him.
Ooh, what is that? A 3?
That's a 5.
That's a 3.
Oh,
Advantage, though.
I'm gonna
Advantage.
give him. Oh, okay, I'll advantage. Why?
Well, we did it with Pia.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay,
Oh, much
and I would
better.
say he has a +4 probably to his charisma, so
he'd have to be very
What was it
charismatic
again?
to
22 then.
22.
okay.
18. Lovely.
Because I really want to like Naya's partner. Now, Helena,
Yes.
are they monogamous?
No, they're not. Your epic
They're like that.
and monogamous.
They're like that middle-aged couple that has like the pineapples.
Carol has been like falling all over himself to become friends with this man because his life just sounds incredibly interesting. Like,
Why am I imagining Chris Rock from Jungle Cruise? Is that just me?
You mean Dwayne?
Not Chris
Dwayne the
Rock.
Not yeah. Sorry.
Different. I'm like, wow.
I was sitting there going like, what was Chris Rock in Jungle Cruise? I don't
No,
remember.
no, Dwayne Johnson in Jungle Cruise. That's all I can
That's what
imagine.
I'm
I'm
picturing.
thinking
too.
more like a George Clooney kind of charming, effortless kind of.
Does he employ security on his cruises?
Sure.
So maybe in some downtime.
Accompanying him and
There you go.
security. Yeah. He trusts you deeply. All right.
I mean, we
so-
definitely got to take a family cruise.
Absolutely.
It's got to be a weekend though, one, because I literally use every week of the 52 weeks.
There are short ones. Yes, you guys go visit the Gripply village, maybe using some of his vessels. Or one of his
Yay.
vessels. And he is excited about the Gripply. He wants to now develop a whole new route that includes staying in the rustic Gripply village.
Gripply tourism.
As long
They're
as
gonna
all
expand.
of the profits go to the village, it can't be like a Bahamas
Well, I mean,
hotel
he needs,
kind of thing.
no, he needs to make his own money, but he's bringing people there to spend money at their village.
Yes.
I think
Support
that's
local
fun.
economy.
Exactly.
He does. He
Day
has set up,
trips
he
to the
sets up
Gripply
a
village.
fund to any culture that is visited by his tours that it's made use of as a point of interest. He has a fund set up for them as well to give them some of the proceeds. He's an ethical capitalist.
I love it. I love it.
If
No,
that
that's an
exists.
assumption.
Okay, great. So we've got a year in. Smith is visiting right now. It's been a pretty quiet week. And you guys find yourself in the hearth. Maybe you're doing your brunch, and Naya and Smith are late. And so you're kind of getting going on things. When
So Drasimir, is Pia there? Or is she out of town right now?
Let's roleplay that she is there.
Okay.
What about your man?
I mean, at this point, he's like,
He lives
He
here,
lives
right?
here.
So I was just wondering, to your partner, I was just wondering, so with the, like, what kind of dragonborn? He was blue, right?
I don't remember.
I think he was a blue dragonborn.
That
wasn't
sounds
he?
correct.
Anyway, so with the, like, internal lightning, like, does that ever manifest in anything else, or is it like a gland in your neck, or is this inappropriate? Is this like when people
Yeah, it is, but it's fine.
Is this like when people ask me like if it's always hard? Because
I mean,
I get that.
Okay, on 3.
No.
I was gonna say I can just look in the library. I think we have a book on
Oh no,
dragonborn.
Physiology.
I already said my answer. Why did you
It's
say yours?
internal.
Oh, okay. So it's like a stomach thing.
No.
Oh.
No, just like manifests.
the door slams open, Smith staggers in. He's holding his abdomen, and he searches around. Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Wait,
Something
spell.
terrible's just happened. Naya's been kidnapped.
What?
They wanted to talk to you guys. What did they want? Oh my gosh. They took her and they said that they needed to talk to you in an hour outside of Candlekeep. I don't think they could come in.
Medicine check to see how he's injured.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
I'm like, where
Gotta
is?
make sure.
Lay on hands.
I was gonna say, I'm like, where's my healing?
Let me see what's wrong first.
I know.
As you heal him, he goes, "Oh no, I wasn't stabbed or anything, but I do feel very strange." And he's kind of swaying, and he is
gosh.
holding on to something, but he
So
hasn't.
maybe
He
the
doesn't
force
appear to have
of
any physical.
14.
14. Okay, so you're sensing this looks familiar, like something having to do with Key. Like one time Naya had mentioned something to you about channels being blocked, and so this is what that looks like.
So I will lesser restoration.
He does seem to feel a little bit better, but has to sit down. He's like shaking still.
Do you tell us the thing about the key?
Do we also have message spells? So I will so to not worry him, I will like be messaging, or you can set up the
At this
chat.
point, you and I can just exchange a look, and then I go, okay.
And I will relay the information to you guys via that, so that we're not like talking over this guy.
Wait, key's something that Naya employs. If that's the case, did she do this to him?
She's so strong. I can't believe she couldn't take him. There were so many though. There were so many. They were wearing black clothing. What was it? It was black.
Insight.
Insight. I was about to say insight.
Hold on. Do I have... Well, that-
24.
21.
He's telling the truth.
Bo's already out
really?
the door. Bo's already out the door.
Well, I mean, if I inside him and that's the case, I'll go with you. But like for a second, I was like, Naya's playing a fucking prank on us.
So like her. Kidnapped.
I'm just saying, this is kind of the fun thing how she would like announce her engagement. This is exactly what she would do.
I'm dying. Look at me. Oh, I can't.
Oh no!
And I feel like Smith West is also kind of like that. So I feel like this is 100% how they would adapt. Like, we're going to run outside, panic. There's going to be a big banner. We're getting married!
Kirill's mindset was, if this was a key issue, Naya can cause those. Did he attack her? And this is what
Yeah.
she did to him.
Yeah.
But as soon as he was like, they want to meet outside, Candlekeep, whatever, Bo like left.
Okay.
Start running.
When they're getting that information, Zindi is going to send a message to, who would I know?
Well, remember, message only has a very short range, too.
That's true. Darn it, 120 feet. Never mind. Wait, hold on. Do I have sending? Don't remember if I took sending or not. Probably not. Never mind. I was going to try and alert somebody, that I know in security to secure the building, secure the keep, just spread the word that something may be going on because Naya's been taken.
Okay. Yeah, he reiterates that it happened outside of Candlekeep. He described the area so that if Bo kind of goes to that same area. After he gets all of the details out, do you guys have any questions or anything you would ask him?
Did they make any demands?
They said they wanted to talk to you guys. They wanted to. I think they want a book, but they could because they couldn't get in. They couldn't get in. I saw them try to get in, but then they couldn't get in, and then they grabbed us.
Black cloaks. What else?
So it was black clothing and white cloaks. Yes, white flowing robes, and one of them had white hair as well.
Did they?
Cloaks
It was
have
so
any
fast.
symbols?
They were so fast.
Any symbols? Any gods? Anything?
Yes. There was I think a flower, some sort of flower on their cloaks.
Can I do a oh God, what would it be? Arcana, religion, history check to see if I know what that
I'll assist-
symbology might
I'll
be.
assist somebody in a religion check.
I'll do religion.
Okay. Yes, I can assist with history.
Okay, where'd my religion go? Oh no, history would be better. That one's cocked. Okay, so that would be 27 for history to see if I know of anything
We're getting up there.
symbology.
Honestly, though, there are so many symbols that incorporate a myriad flowers. So there's not much you could say from flower.
Flower, black clothing, white robes. That's what I'm focusing on.
Combining it to that, I would say maybe you come up with about 5 different organizations.
Okay, narrows it down.
One of them's like a charity organization nearby.
They're not going to kidnap Naya.
One's a religious organization to Baldre. She's like the earth or whatever, the flowers or whatever. And then there's maybe a couple of monk orders that you've heard of
Okay,
as well that might incorporate a flower.
got it.
Key, monk.
There's a couple that I'm thinking of.
You
But
go
why
out,
would they want her?
you get out to the area outside of Candlekeep that he described, and you do see signs, if you want to roll investigation, you do see signs of a struggle that happened in that area.
17.
Nice.
It looks like you can say that you can identify Naya's footsteps and Smith's footsteps, and you would say there was at least 4 other sets of footprints, so at least 4 other people were there. And you see kind of a ripped patch from a white robe that shows a lotus with a black circle.
I'll grab it.
Once we get the information from him, I'll call over the jackal wares and make sure that he's attended to, and then go and find Bo.
Yeah, you alerted security, so they came in, they took him away. They reiterated, yes, there's something wrong with his key. We need to take him to medical, and as he's taken away, he beseeches you all, please find her.
Absolutely.
I wish I could help, but I was built for schmoozing, not fighting.
At this point, Paige goes,
Schmoozing and cruising.
Oh, it was right there.
Paige goes, it's been a little bit. All right, okay.
I was just imagining this like action sequence of the four of us like walking through the doors in slow motion, and Kirill's like pulling his loot over his shoulder, like Paige cracking his knees and like flipping his.
I'm summoning my spell book, so it's floating in the air.
And then Benlin is
Mage
going
armor.
to reach down into the ground and pull up, and then
His pants. That's what.
stone fey horses are going to appear.
Wow.
What?
Well, I can do either 4 or 8, so it has to be 8 with conjure animals. So
Cool.
they are now fey horses that we can now like head out.
Neat.
You guys can.
Bo's probably gonna have to ride.
They are fey stone creatures, so you can ride them.
Or we have.
You already
Okay.
ran out.
Bo can ride a couple. We have ones to spare.
He's horse surfing. These are horse rollerblading.
Yeah. Or I was just picturing him like laying across two.
Roller horsing.
You roller racing. Stop get him a chariot.
There you go. Okay, so I've cast Mage
I think a
Armor.
draft horse can handle you, can't it?
We went over this last time.
We did. We have gone over.
No, but we couldn't use a draft horse before because of the cold, is what I'm saying. So, like, now we don't have to worry about cold.
Yeah.
Helena?
Oh, I would say his manifested magical beings can convey.
Thank you.
Yes.
They are technically fey, even though they're the shape of beasts, so they are fey creatures. So,
Features, if you will.
Features.
should I be keeping track of my spells? I should be keeping track of my spell slots, huh?
You have to ask the answers.
Please do.
Lesser
I'm not-
restoration. Well, I'm just like, I was like, because usually, like, the first part we sleep before we actually do any adventuring. So I was like, oh, I can cast spells right now. But I now realize we were actually adventuring. So I should
We are
cast some
going.
spell.
Nope, I cast Mage Armor.
We leave. The montage happens, and as we go out the door, Pia pops up from the kitchen. Is like, "Oh, okay."
Bye.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work? It would take a miracle. Bye-bye. Sorry.
And then I whistle, and Chompgood scrambles up into his little backpack.
I love it.
How big is Chomkwood at this point? Still a
Yeah. Can have a partner too.
He's small. So he's a baby.
I know.
Helena.
It's fun to be
He's like 2
I know,
years
it's like-
old.
Our Valentine's Day episode.
All right. So, do you guys join Bo and Benlin outside of Candlekeep?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Not before I give Drasimir a goodbye kiss. And that's probably the first time that they've seen us kissing in public.
It is not the first time.
Why are you watching?
We have sky spells.
Yet again, why are you watching?
Me and Naya.
I never knew healing your trauma was going to make you such a perv.
Yeah, I did.
quote. Feature.
No healing
I
your
never
trauma.
knew healing your trauma would make you a perv.
I love it. Next t-shirt, guys.
Seeing the little goodbye kiss, Paige sends to everybody, "Oh, I'm in the doghouse."
Cat house.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't say anything to Cal. Well,
I'm like, well, we're kind of in a hurry, but if you want to go back, I mean, like,
No, Naya comes first.
I'm just saying, this is why it's
Well, if there's
convenient.
gonna be a second date.
I mean, it's convenient to adventure with your partner.
That's
Just saying,
true.
You know, like,
I don't think we have to address that yet.
We have separation time. It's fine.
Yeah.
Andy.
It's good not to do everything.
we spend too much time together. Is that what they're saying?
Oh, that was more so Kirill being like, none of us like Pia yet, so I don't want her coming on
No,
adventure.
no, and then he was like, everyone's saying like, it's good to have alone time. We're like, we
Like,
spent
no,
all of our
yeah.
time together, and I'm like, ooh, do we spend too much time together?
We
just
both.
making up for lost time.
I feel like
There
we
you go.
both had separation anxiety from different issues.
Yeah. So it's like, I can't let him out of my sight because he could be zapped by a lich into nothingness.
Like the beholder.
So you guys are together at the scene of the scuffle. What now?
I show everyone the scrap.
Seeing that scrap of
It's a logo.
cloth, do I hone in on who it is?
Yeah, it was from the list that you had already curated,
Okay.
and this is the symbol of the Temple of the Immortal Lotus. This is a monk faction that the leader appeared to have gone insane. Was a monk with a previous another order for a long time. Appeared to have gone insane, killed many of his compatriots, and has started this new Temple of the Immortal Lotus. But not much is known about this order because they are very.
This is like a perfect adventure for Naya.
I know.
It would be fair to assume though that order, right? Like if the lore that we're being told is that he went crazy, abandoned his old.
I mean, regardless, they kidnapped Naya. So I mean, like, regardless,
We're not okay with
All
them.
all signs point to awful.
yeah.
Going into something hairy.
And also, it means they're particularly powerful because Naya is not a damsel in distress.
Correct.
Not at all.
Gee, okay.
I would have expected them to kidnap Smith. To be honest.
Fair.
They want-
We have come cheering after for him.
that means she has something that they want. Though.
We love Smith.
We do.
So they said an hour. So do we just wait?
Wait, I'm confused. What did they say an hour about?
Smith said they wanted to meet with us in an hour.
Oh, I shouldn't have summoned my questions then. I thought we were going after them. Oops.
You guys hang out for the
45 minutes.
And then the horses fade because it's only an hour-long spell. So I was like, well, there you go. I thought we were going somewhere.
I was very excited, and then we were like, "Oh wait, that's right, we're waiting."
I thought we were gonna go find them. I thought that's what we were doing. Can we dissuade? Okay, so hang.
You don't have to have wasted that spell slot, I guess.
Well, no, but my question is like, so they want us to wait for an hour, but we found a trail, right?
Do we
And
No.
we found an identifier,
scrap of cloth?
but like we don't know where they went.
Is there any way to check? Did anybody check the ground? Are we looking for like
I
do a
investigated.
survival? See if where they could have gone.
Does anyone
off
have
to?
a spell? Locate object?
I have locate object, but if they're with less
That's
than
only
1,000
within
feet
10.
away,
Yeah.
But I mean, he ran and got us right away, right?
no, I waited.
I mean, it might have taken him while he was injured, so to get back.
Oh, him.
Smith.
I will, just because I'm Benlin, I will summon a bird of some kind and have it range around see if it can't find anything like that would be out of the ordinary and then report back.
It reports back. It does see two figures in white robes heading back towards you. One of them has white hair. You guys see the two figures approaching you. It's just the two of them. They don't appear to have many weapons on them, and they approach in kind of a non-hurried way. One of them is a human man. He's got white hair. He's very good looking. And then beside him is someone who is obviously kind of deferring to his hierarchy, is kind of slightly behind him and to the right, and is following him. And they're wearing the same thing.
As soon as they're within
Yeah, go ahead.
as soon as they're within 120 feet, I would like to guiding bolt down the middle of them and say, "You got 5 seconds."
At the same
It's just like a ray of light that I shoot out. I'm just
So it
intimidating.
just like goes between them, like, "Hey, I'm ready to."
Like
shoot
I
you."
scour the ground with it, like.
They both
Big
kind of
animation.
gracefully dodge it, watching it go, and then kind of turn back to look at you.
At the same time, Kirill will have pulled out his dancing blade and tossed it into the air to have that activated.
Fancy.
Got my fancy sword out.
Yeah. So it's floating next to him, kind of swishing occasionally as I ready now.
And like crystals of earth are already growing up Benlin's arm as he's like channeling his.
We're going aggro. Like,
And I would like to make an intimidation check with my guiding bolt.
Okay.
I'm not good at it, but
Go ahead and do that.
You can't fail if you don't try.
15.
Okay. The one with the white hair, kind of, they come up, they stop about 15 feet away from you all. And he says, "I'm glad to see that Candlekeep has summoned some worthy opponents.
If you'd like to see worthy, then I would recommend pointing us to Naya.
Your intimidation tactics do not scare us.
That's not intimidation. She will kill all of your men.
If we don't first.
Well, it's hard to do that when you're unconscious, isn't it?
Oh, give her a second to wake up, buddy.
Shh, I have more than enough. Sorry. I have more than enough people on to take care of the little girl.
Okay, that's the little girl. What's stopping us from killing you right now? Or at least one of you. I only need one of you to tell me where she is.
You may act however you like. We offer a simple trade. We are serious. We cannot access Candlekeep. We need a book. That is all.
Go get a book.
We're not able to enter. But
Why?
You all can enter and bring us the book, and we will give you back.
They don't have a book for trade.
Like literally, you could just go buy a book and bring
There's
it.
a very specific book. Maybe you haven't heard. Candlekeep is the largest collection of rare tomes in the world.
Yes, we've lived here for
We
years.
work here. Why can't you enter Candlekeep?
Friends, the book has to be one that is not in the library and it doesn't get you access to the library.
Yeah, but you could just open up a book and write like a
Regardless,
bunch of
I wanna
novels.
I'm saying
What?
not necessarily get them the book they want.
What book?
The book is called The Book of Inner Alchemy.
Do I know
It was
it?
written by a trio of monk brothers. It is one of the oldest pieces in Candlekeep. This is what our intelligence tells us.
Does Zindi know this book? Can I do a...
You can do a check, but you wouldn't know it off the top of your head.
I wouldn't?
Not off the top of your head, but if you want
Okay.
to do a roll, you
Yeah,
can
can I do... That would be what? Gosh. History? Another history check? Okay. Dirty 20.
You recognize it. You do believe it was written by 3 monk brothers. You believe it actually is in a restricted section of Candlekeep, that it was determined to contain very dangerous information.
You give us that over the chat room?
In the mind chat?
Yeah.
I would... A very truncated version of that. That we have it. It's in the restricted section. I wouldn't give it to anybody.
What do you want the book for?
That is our concern. We will keep it.
So in the chat room to Paige, how far away can you keep me in contact?
Pretty far.
Pretty far?
Yes. Let me see if I can get a numerical answer, but
And then to you, I'm gonna be like, just like into everybody, it's like, I think I could trail them.
Or we can just kill them.
Well, I say we will, but then we don't know where Naya is.
Like you said, only one of them needs to be alive.
It's valid.
I want to look at the deferential monk that walked with him. What does this person look like? Do they look like they're intimidated by this other person, the white-haired monk? I'm just trying to get a bead on what is their dynamic.
Yeah, they're quiet. The white-haired man has looked at the other guy, like when you guys are talking, like in like, can you believe these guys kind of way. But he's just being quiet. He's standing there waiting for any cues from the white-haired man.
Okay.
1 mile.
1 mile?
Is there a deadline, or how will you contact us, or how will we contact you once we have the book?
We will give you directions to the location of our temple. You will bring the book to us there.
I'm going to say in the chat room. So they're just going to tell us where she is.
Their temple, not necessarily did they take her there.
Well, at least the temple would have information.
Fair.
Yeah. James. Just
Now
kind
you-
of randomly
now you
pops
can't-
in her head.
Now you have to mind mute.
Yeah,
You
Maybe
can't
I
say-
spoke too soon about the fearsome intelligence of these Candlekeep people. It says to the because you guys are staring at each other. He doesn't know what you're doing, but
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we're just chatting.
Of course.
Left or right? Which one's done?
Character sheets out, I guess.
White-haired one is on the left or the right? If we're all staring.
What would be the position, the dominant? The person lesser would be to his
The
right, so he
right-hand
would be
man.
on the left. Yeah.
My only concern is the lesser's going to defend him, and if we kill the lesser, he may do something to Naya.
We shouldn't strike first. I want to, but anything we do could put Naya in danger.
That's fair.
Play along for now.
I'm in agreement.
Play along how?
We'll get the book. Let's find out what's in it. See how dangerous it is, and
Move on from there.
yep.
Acquiring a book such as the one that you're asking for is not going to be an expeditious undertaking.
They're not just going to let us take the book out of Candlekeep.
That is your problem.
No, that is your
That's
problem.
Kind of everybody's problem, isn't it?
It is, in fact, Naya's problem indeed.
It's the name of the person that I am speaking with. Normally, I'm not on such informal terms.
My name is Steel Crane, and we are members of the Temple of the Immortal Lotus. You may remember today as the day you truly encountered greatness.
In the mental chat, Carol's just going,
Ben was responding
so
with,
over this. And I feel like Carol cannot help but like crack a smile because he's trying really hard not to laugh.
Steel Crane is just like, these guys are idiots.
I would like to cast Detect Evil and Good to determine if they are aberrant, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
They're none of those things.
Okay.
All right.
I would like to
You
cast.
know what you must. Oh, go ahead.
I would like to cast fuck you to these guys.
Okay.
I'll say to them, what?
Do you have invisibility prepared?
I do. I always do.
So
I do.
I tell you mentally, I'm going to storm off. Can you get me invisible?
Oh, I have it for me, not for you.
You can touch other people.
It's
Can
our
I?
posture.
No, it's a class feature for the
Oh,
purple.
Oh, I
It's-
have it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to say, like, we can
Thank you,
storm
yes.
off. If you get me invisible, I can trace them.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me, okay. And I will turn to him and say, I still believe Naya's going to wake up and destroy your temple. But we'll start working on this book situation, and when we arrive, we'll save it standing.
I'm so glad we could come to an agreement.
I
Because you-
personally don't associate or make deals with pompous assholes. So I'm out. And I start walking towards Candlekeep.
Ben will turn around and chase after him.
And then I will step to be like the center. You must understand, getting this book will take some time. May we have your word that Naya will be safe until we can procure this book.
We will give you 2 days' time before she is to be executed without the book.
Give us 3 days. It will take at least a day of meetings, getting our stories straight, and figuring out a way to get this out of Candlekeep. And then how long will it take to get there? I don't want them to be like, you have 2 days and it's a 4-day walk.
Yeah.
He gives you some basic instructions into the Cloakwood. It's a half a day's journey.
Okay, it's only half a day. Perfect. You said persuasion? 3.
You have 2 days. Do not try our patience further. So he gives you those basic instructions. We expect to see you with the book. And they walk away.
So as soon as we get out of their visual range, pass without trace,
Yes, and I will invisibility.
invisibility, and then I will wild shape into what's a good stealth wild shape?
Owls, hit advantage on stealth.
Hawk.
I can't do flying.
Damn.
Weasel. But you can't do.
Tiger. Tigers are.
What?
What? They're stealthy, aren't they?
Sure. Now, your class ability to do this, or is this a spell, or
This is a class
what?
ability.
Okay. is this something that someone could tell by looking at you? Like, I know this person is a druid and that they can
No.
probably do these things. Okay.
Well, unlike most druids, I wear full plate armor. So like looking at Benlin, you would never clock him as a druid.
And your weapons
I don't
ring
have
the
weapons.
artificer or whatever. Okay.
I don't carry weapons because I summon one.
Okay.
So if anything, I look like a cleric.
Okay. And you're passing without trace right now, and you're tailing them.
So for the first hour, I'm invisible, and then I have pass without trace, and then after that, I'm just on my own. But
Okay.
We only have connection for a mile. After a mile, the chat room disconnects.
I know. But I know where you guys are. I
Yeah.
just don't know where Naya is. So
Right.
I'm going to give them a fair distance. Like, if I have to make perception checks, I have real good perception. So
Well, the first hour but if you're going to follow them the entire way back,
I need to
then-
know where she is.
Yeah, we'll keep checking as we go. Okay, so yeah, they disappear. You're able to tail them. What do the rest of you guys do?
I would immediately just. So, are we actually going to try to get this book, or are we going to try to dupe them?
I need to know what the books.
And I will stay in contact with you guys as long as I can.
Yeah.
So
Basically, we'd be having this conversation silently, all in our heads.
I feel like Kirill and Zindi so often are like opposite sides of the same coin. We're just approaching it from different directions.
I have my wizardly quill, which says that. Oh gosh, where is it? The time you must spend to copy a spell into your spell book equals 2 minutes per spell level if you use the quill for transcription. Can I use my quill to try and make, or would I understand an approximation, like if I could copy down this book and give them something of what they think they want, but maybe upon the more dangerous sections, I tweak it. Like, I'm trying to think, okay, what if I've got this ability and I can transcribe this book into another book, but give them a fake, dupe them.
Fucking genius. Write it like you're writing it to me as Paige, but like 2 years ago, Paige.
Fair.
Can you do it fast enough?
That's what I'm wondering. If we've got 2 days. So I guess that's what I'm looking for is like if it's a DM rule, we need to look at the book, and then I want to see if I can. What's the likelihood that I might be able to transcribe this book with some tweaks to try and convince them otherwise?
Okay, yeah, we'll have you roll for it.
Okay.
I like to think that we like go to the Avowed. We're like, we need to check out this book, and they're like, you bunch? No.
I will go to the event.
Yeah.
You go to one of your trusted superiors who is usually very helpful to you. The Book of Inner Alchemy. That has been here forever. It's one of the oldest books in Candlekeep. What do you need that one for?
Unfortunately, one of our group has been taken and is being held hostage for this book.
Hostage against her will. Sorry, you said you were there.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's not our intent to give them the book, but what I'm sorry, I'm just very, it's troubling. We need to at least examine the book to see what they are asking for. Have you heard of the Temple of the Immortal Lotus?
Oh, yes. I think Bach May, he's the head of that. That guy went crazy.
Well,
I mean, it would make sense why he wants this book. The book has untold secrets about life and death and ways to potentially master it.
then we must make sure that they don't get their hands on it. What I'd like to try and do, and maybe some of the other Avowed and acolytes can assist in creating an approximation of this book to give to them in exchange for Naya's life and freedom. Not give them the real book. They don't know what they're looking for.
I mean, that sounds like it's very difficult, but I think we can, go locate the book and you can have a look at what it looks like.
Thank you.
he leads you into the restricted section, or one of many restricted sections. I assume there's probably several. And he grabs down a book of moderate thickness. It's one of many insignificant tomes that is on that shelf, or at least significant to you. It's of exceptional quality. There's just some minor damage to the corners, and its olive green covers are in perfect condition. Sewn into the binding with silk threads are sacred texts and medical illustrations. Text is recorded on paper pages, and illustrations are drawn on silk sheets. The paper pages appear to have aged, but the silk illustrations have stood the test of time, appearing as they did probably when they were first imprinted in this book. Let me show you a picture.
Yay!
Or not. Let me refresh this.
I'm just imagining as they pull the book off to like take it over the table to open it, the camera takes a moment to center on the bookshelf, and 3 books down is Shemshine's.
And the freaking sunshine.
And then just before the cameras fades, like the music gets real like shrill. It's just
The Val looks at that and goes, "What's everyone doing here?" He grabs it. I'll be back to check on you. You cannot take that anywhere. It's very dangerous.
I understand.
Walks away.
Leaves you alone with the book.
Yep.
well, she's got a lot of fucking trust built up with the Avowed, so we can't actually take it now. It's the downside of going to the Avowed.
And you will recall you cannot take books out of Candlekeep. There is anti-theft magic on all of them.
Oh, we found a way around that by now, I'm sure.
I don't think we can off-screen that.
Well, just teleportation circle out with it.
No, there's literally magic that stops the book
you.
from leaving.
We didn't leave.
Okay. So I will flip through the book. Mentally, I'll tell everybody in the chat room. I have the hands are on the book.
I'm assuming I'm out of range by now.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do your first check if we see that's the first hour.
And then I was mistaken before. I cannot turn into a tiger, so I'm taking a giant wolf spider form.
Okay.
Just because tigers
How fast can those go?
Or you could be a regular spider with silk in the wind and go.
I mean, that's gonna be real slow.
it's got a 40-foot speed.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's a wolf
Okay.
spider, so it's like a tarantula.
Okay, but it still seems like 40
Well,
feet
it's
within
the
6
size of a
seconds.
person.
Oh, okay.
So not very stealthy.
No, it's got a +7. It's better than the tiger.
Oh wow.
Okay, so
He scrambles up trees if they ever look behind their shoulders.
Yeah, I do have a climb speed that's equal to my, and I have spider climb, so I can literally crawl along ceilings, like. So what am I rolling for?
stealth, right? Stealth.
Stealth?
Stealthing along line.
Okay, so it's going to be +7, and I have advantage from Pass Without Trace for at least the first hour.
I thought it was +10.
Oh, no, yeah. No, you're right. Oh, no, the first hour I'm invisible and Pass Without Trace, so it's advantage with +10.
Okay, so the first hour, I would say we don't need to roll. They don't notice.
Oh, okay.
So then, now that they've been looking for the book, they've found it. Second hour, go ahead and do that one.
Second hour, so it would just be a straight roll.
Is perception wisdom or int?
Was
It is wisdom.
Oh,
24.
yeah. You're still okay. Yeah, they still haven't noticed you.
And I'm staying pretty far back. Like, I'm not, like, up on them.
Okay.
Like, I'm staying pretty far back because they're walking down a road, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, they're down the road, and then eventually they'll be moving into the Cloakwood Forest. So
But even then, I can follow them at a distance. Because when people move through a wood, if they're not being stealthy, it's pretty noisy.
yeah, but you are a human-sized spider.
Yeah.
Like,
With a 22 perception.
I said they didn't notice you.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm saying I would rather stay back because I'm better at watching them from afar than I would be shadowing them up close, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
because my perception is higher than my stealth. So
But
like
you're still staying within sight of them, right?
distant sight, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. I would say if you're staying within eye line sight of them, then we're going to keep rolling
Mhm.
on the journey back. Okay. You have the book now.
Okay. So, looking through it, I want to at least just thumb through it and try and flag any areas that I see would be dangerous and something that I would not want, or at least I know that Candlekeep would not want to be disseminated outside of. So, how much of it?
Yeah. Looking at it, it is in a language that you do not know.
Shit.
It looks like it's from outside of Faerun. In like it's reminiscent because it's in columns that it looks like you read right to left.
Okay.
So that style reminds you of languages from outside of Faerun.
I would like to then cast Comprehend Languages
Okay.
so that I can understand what I'm reading.
That does enable you to read it.
Yay.
Yeah, so this book has a lot of information about Ki. It talks about how Ki is normally associated with monastic orders and has strong ties to elemental air, for breath is what connects one's soul to one's essence, the body. Ki is a vital force present in all living things. Medical techniques and training can be used to control the flow of Ki. All living beings are made of two lives, physical and spiritual. When these aspects are in harmony, great power can be attained.
Okay.
You reading through that, there's all these diagrams showing Ki flowing through the body. There's some particular pages in the middle that show some designs for something that looks like gloves.
Okay.
But when you get to that section, the text there seems to be scrambled in some way. It now no longer makes sense. And let me go ahead and roll, I guess, investigation.
18?
So you're getting the sense that there is some kind of spell on this or some sort of enchantment that scrambles the words when you're not reading them at the right time, in the right place, under the right light. Like there's something
Okay.
so you have to do to access these scrambled areas.
Okay. And then lastly, can I get an idea of how long it might take me to try and replicate the book?
So go ahead and roll. What would we roll for this? Arcana? Or is there some sort of crafting?
Do you have the
skill?
fabricate spell by chance?
I don't think I
It's the
do.
4th level spell.
I don't think so. I mean, I might be. I don't think I do. What I was thinking of using was my quill, which would help at least with some of it, but I don't know if it would help with everything. Wizardly quill.
Wizardly.
Yeah, I think investigation would that work? Just to investigate and try and understand how long it might take me to transcribe.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that.
18.
Okay, so you could probably make a pretty convincing cover with, some leather. You could probably stitch that together, but it would take you over 2 days to assemble enough silk to replicate these pages. So you could probably get so you get the cover and then all the paper pages done in a day, but the silk, there's just not much you can do without
With the
more
illustration.
access to silk.
Okay. I don't know if I have time to make this happen, everybody. The pages are written on parchment, but all of the illustrations are on silk, and
I mean,
I mean, does he know that they're written on silk? Because the book hasn't.
they're-
Well, I was saying out of character.
No, I know. I was thinking that too. So, I mean, I don't know how familiar they are with the book, and maybe they
Chunk
just
could say.
understand.
Does he know that they're written on silk?
I don't know that they're. I don't know that they know exactly what's. We don't know what they know about the book. That's the problem.
We do know where they are.
Book hidden long time, yes.
Book hidden long time, yes.
That
I mean-
dragon hoard. No one truly knows.
On We can always try and just do it with paper. And if they see that it's wrong, we burn the place to the ground.
I mean, like, what does it matter if it's, if they figure it out, because we just need to get to where we need to get to,
Exactly.
and then we take it down.
If they believe it, then we just get a little bit deeper.
Okay. I'll get to work. And I'm going to dedicate as much time as I can and try and recruit people to help me out.
Question, just because Margar might not think of this
Go for it.
due to not knowing how wizards work, is it possible for her to find somebody who has the fabricate spell who she could learn it from?
Oh, for sure.
Because that would, with your quill, you could learn the fabricate spell in 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then the fabricate spell lets you just make a book as long as you have the raw materials. And then between Benlin and Kirill, there is silk that we could turn into a book using that spell.
Okay.
I mean, yes, there are definitely many people at Candlekeep that have access to different spells and stuff.
So, the 4th level spell, how much would that cost? Do you remember from your thaumaturge days?
Oh, good lord.
I think it's 50 gold pieces per level.
I think so. It's
And this fabricate spell is just going to create a copy of the book, so it's going to have the same information.
So it wouldn't create a copy of the book. Well, so it would be the same thing that she's already doing,
Each
but with
level.
the fabricate spell.
Each level takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold.
And so she's still writing specific things on each page.
Yeah, it's just she's now the fabricate spell, let's say you were a glass blower, you could use the fabricate spell to turn sand into a beautiful glass sculpture as if you had taken the time to do it. So if she's able to fabricate the book over a course of time, she can do it instantly with the spell.
I get that. I'm just trying to determine, is this second book essentially going to have the same information? Or
I think
you
it would-
determine it's gibberish, or like what?
It's up to her, is what I would say.
I think the way that I'm interpreting it would be the materials, not necessarily the content.
But if you put ink,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you put it, if you're just like, okay, I have a whole bunch of other similar books in my mind, it's just filled with that information.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you in the end, but
so just kind of for clarity, you convert raw materials into products of the same material. For example, you can fabricate a wooden bridge from a clump of trees, a rope from a patch of hemp, and clothes from flax or wool. You choose raw materials that you can see. You can fabricate a large or smaller object contained within blah, 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 given a sufficient quantity of raw material. If you are working with metal, stone, or other mineral substance, however, it must be smaller. Quality of objects made by the spell is commensurate with the quality of raw materials.
so if we get everything that would go into the book, like the ink, the everything.
I don't think you can do the ink because it specifically says you also can't use it to create items that ordinarily require a high degree of craftsmanship, such as
unless you were
supplies.
skilled in doing so. And we
And
already determined that
also-
she could make a copy. That's what I'm saying. It works because we've already determined that she could do it given time.
My one question is the Book of Magic item.
It doesn't say that, so I would say no.
Okay.
Because I saw that too. And I was like, well, if we're making a non-magical version of it, monks
Right,
aren't
but
known
the
for their
actual
ability
magic
to
item
sense.
itself, I don't think you can transmute.
I don't.
Oh, but
It
we're not
says
trying to
you can't
transmute
do
the book. We're
ink.
trying to make it fake.
So you're going to have to hand letter it and draw
It-
the images.
It doesn't say you can't do ink. It doesn't say specifically that we can't do this. It would say that, well, it says she couldn't do it if she was not skilled enough to do it without the spell, is what I'm saying. So, you couldn't make a beautiful marble statue unless you knew how to carve a marble statue.
It's a time skip spell.
Yeah, it just lets you do a longer thing instantly.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. I would say that. So when you do this, are you going to essentially just create a copy of the book that can be utilized the same as the originals?
I would create something that's an approximation of it. The exterior and the interior of the book would not be what the actual book of yeah, thank you. Book of Inner Alchemy would say or read, but it's like a half step off of what it's supposed to be. So I'm going to give them false information, the contents of it. The imagery I'm going to try and keep similar so that it looks familiar and it's, flow of key. They'll recognize that, things that they're going to recognize or that they can understand. But any of the more complex spells or information that that Candlekeep would deem dangerous, and that's why they're keeping it here, I'm going to fub.
Well, I would say
So that would
it's gonna
take
be
time.
hard for you, to be able to identify the information that's dangerous necessarily in this time frame.
Okay.
So, okay, so do you have to roll for this fabrication spell or anything like that?
I mean, for the contents, you might include an intelligence check of some time, but no. It's just a 10-minute casting time.
Okay, let's go ahead and have you roll Arcana to determine the interior. So I think that the spell works definitely for the cover, the pages of silken paper, but in terms of like what the actual text says versus what the original text says, let's roll for that.
Okay.
Seems fair. No, Cindy,
No. That's a 16. That's not terrible. I mean, could be better, but that was so that's a 16.
So I would say 75% of the book is filled in with the information that from the original, the stuff that was scrambled in the original, that did not get translated.
That's fine.
And so just like about 25% of the pages are blank because we didn't get all of them.
But it's enough for like a thumb through, right?
It looks good.
Okay, that's what I'm needing. Where'd it go? I'm trying to actually use the spell so that I have it. Where's my spell book? Where's my prepared spells?
Okay,
And-
awesome.
Technically, even after learning Fabricate, you would still have to do it the next day.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do 3 rolls for you following them overnight.
Overnight,
Right, because she's studying the book and
do
she's
they
getting
use
fabricated.
light when they travel at night?
No.
No?
Well,
Over their
do they start a fire? Sure. Do they use torches? No, I would say no. They move through the forest very easily, as if they know it very well. And oh wait, this is only a half day's journey. I forgot about that. Okay, so let's take 2 perception checks because they're gonna get there by that night. So,
2 perception?
yeah. Or sorry, what are you doing? Stealthing. So then I'll do percepting.
Now, if I do hang back and risk losing them, can I get advantage on the stealth?
Working on the book. Working on the book. Do we need a break?
I'm
Power
okay.
through till 10.
25.
Right, yeah, they don't notice, yeah. Okay, so then at the end of the night, you see them enter. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Clear spanner. And so they come to a secluded glade. Oh, I gotta go to that map too. I was like, why am I not going? Okay. So a secluded glade, they kind of walk through this archway, and there's a steel forest right after that. You see several buildings in the distance, or several buildings kind of arrayed in this glade, and then some huge rock structure on the other side of the glade that looks kind of like a lotus. There are several other of those monks in the Steely Forest. They're training. They greet Steel Crane and the person with him as they walk in.
I'm going to hang back like in this like forested area and then just kind of like peruse with Pass Without Trace on, right? I'm going to kind of like determine this is where they were heading, right? Then I'm going to summon a bird. I have I'm assuming some way of like, I don't know how to tell you guys where we are.
Well, we know where it is because they told us where to meet them.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh, then this was just a waste of my time.
Yeah, I was wondering why you were doing this.
So I just figured you were doing it for like reconnaissance.
I thought you were doing it,
Yeah.
to like scout out and tell us how many people might be.
Well, I will send a raven back to them, and ravens can speak common. So I will send a raven to they can repeat, and just like in my voice to Kirill, I found it. I'm here. I'm gonna look for Naya.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna spend the next however long going like this, message Naya, see if she's there, see if I can't just, because I have to face the direction she's in, but it's a cantrip, so I'm just gonna keep going until I hit Naya. See if I can't find her in the area.
Okay. So I guess we'll continue doing stealth checks every hour that
Well, I'm
we're
staying.
moving around.
Well, I'm staying in one spot because in Benlin form I'm not very stealthy, so I'm just staying.
You are the Raven right now? No, you're sending
No,
Raven.
I sent it.
And so you're in Benlin's form, you're not the wolf spider anymore. Okay.
But I'm like back in the woods.
But you're just sitting once, you're not moving around the complex.
I'm literally like facing a direction. Naya?
Okay.
Naya?
Unfortunately, you do not get a response
Okay.
doing that. You make a rotation, I guess you could say.
And then at some point hanging back, if I don't hear back from them, I'm just going to meld with stone to sleep in the ground here.
Okay.
So that's my plan. Is like I'm looking for Naya and then I will sleep here.
Okay. All right. So back at Candlekeep, you guys are waiting for Zindy to complete the book. Anything else we're doing? Okay. So I would say at the end of the next day, Zindy, you feel like you have something that looks pretty good.
Okay.
Ready to go. Do you guys head out at night or do you wait for the following morning?
I would say,
As soon as you're done.
yeah, as soon as it's done.
All right, so you guys head out that direction as well. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. You can give me a minute.
And I will be sure to put the book back where it originally was, so they know
Nice.
where it is.
Now, does the magic stop the fake book from leaving the library too? Or okay.
So that would really suck. I can very, very bad.
Like you go to leave the library. Are you fucking kidding?
I walk out the gates. And
It's fake!
This is my book.
To be perfectly fair, though, now this is a book that's never existed, and somebody could use it as a way to get into Candlekeep.
But if it was created at Candlekeep,
They don't have it.
true.
They don't have it anymore.
exactly.
It's actually never did.
They technically never did.
It's never part of their collection.
It was never in their possession.
Yep. It's always in my possession.
It was always in her possession.
Her possession it was.
What a position to be in.
So it's now
That's true.
it's kind of twilighty evening. You guys are in the forest. Benlin, did you
Am I
stay
waking
in
up?
your same? So this is the next day because she had to work all day to do the book. Then you guys left that evening. So actually maybe it's more like it's like 10, 11-ish
Okay.
at night. You guys are kind of approaching.
Did I get
Did you
to sleep?
stay? Yeah, you melded stone the night previous, and you were just waiting all day. Or
So
were you
no,
doing
when I
more
woke
stuff?
up that next morning,
You
because
woke
I'm
up
a
in-
druid, I now have locate object. I'm going to use it to find the bracers I made Naya.
Okay. The signal is coming from this building right here.
Okay. What is that building made out of?
Wood.
Okay. And is she moving around in there? Is there a specific place or?
It's near the edge, and no, she's not moving.
Okay. If you want to jump to them, I just have to do a little bit more thought here just for a second.
Okay.
I don't want to hold.
So you have an
everything.
idea of where she is. Okay. So, but where are you in terms of just around this time of night?
Well, this would start the next morning. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like I would have till they show up, wouldn't I?
We were showing up.
Well,
at
I
11
can't
midnight.
go to them because the next morning they would still be at Candlekeep.
Oh, shit.
I've already done what they did that morning.
Give me just 2 seconds. I have to look up 3rd level druid spells, see if there's anything else I would have grabbed. Why isn't Windwalk freaking? I could have swore I turned into mist at some point, didn't I? Didn't I?
That's
turn
a cool
The
thing.
gaseous form?
Right?
Was it
Yeah, you did that,
gaseous?
While he's thinking about that, I just want to make sure that.
I just know.
So I would
did
have
it
taken
before.
some kind of rest,
Yeah.
probably between. And then the next day, as I'm completing the book, would I still need to be fabricating it, or is this copying of the pages to complete it? I think we said it was at the copy.
Because
So
of the
fabricate was already
spoiler.
done. So then I
Well,
would.
No, the first day you scribe it into your book.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
'cause
then
you have to
fabricate
learn
would be the
spell.
second day. Got
And
it.
the
So I.
next day- I guess you guys could have left earlier then in the day because it would have taken you 10 minutes to do this
Right.
fabricated thing. Okay, so
But then the rest of the time I would have done using my quill
you're
to
trying to fill in that 25%.
try and fill in just some of it so that like it doesn't look as suspicious.
Okay. So when do you guys think you would have left? So knowing that you learned fabricate, then you slept on it, now you cast fabricate, you got
First
10
thing in the
minutes,
morning.
Then what? Do we leave right away or do we wait?
I would probably take until midday. So
Okay.
then we would still probably arrive at like dusk-ish.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you are following the directions into the cloakwood. And as you're getting closer, a noxious smell fills your nose. Just off the path is a hollow, petrified tree trunk filled with a viscous black ooze. Black tendrils extrude from the ooze, reaching toward 2 figures clad in white robes. These figures are 20 feet away from the tree trunk and pushing a wheelbarrow filled with bodies toward it. Let me go ahead and put you guys on that map.
I'm just ready whenever you are. This is what I'm saying.
Okay. So this is kind of where you're at now. You guys are kind of over here, and you smell that smell, and you can kind of see through the trees to the monks and a wheelbarrow. Okay, Benlin, what did you do during the day?
Okay, so the first thing I did is up high, right? I am going to skywrite.
Okay.
And I'm going to put the vague shape of Chompgood right above the camp.
Okay.
Right? So I'm skywriting, then I'm going to pass without trace, tiny little spider form, and enter into that building where I think Naya is and try and find her.
Okay.
Give it up before we get there.
I just want to
So
try and
this
save
guy-
Naya.
Okay, so the skywriting causes several of the members to search the area.
Mhm.
You are very small, so I wouldn't imagine that they would catch you, but they immediately noticed what you did and have been looking. When you try to enter that building, there is a magical barrier keeping you out of it.
But everyone's looking for me in the woods.
Not everyone, but definitely there are some people that, as soon as you made that cloud, kind of mobilized and started searching the area around.
Okay. Is there ever a moment where I don't feel like I'm being observed?
No, there's many people moving around throughout this little glade.
I have passed without trace. Should I risk it?
Well, you probably also know that we're coming.
Sure.
Just
But
I'm just
if
saying
we
take that
have
into
Naya,
your
then
calculus.
They don't have anything on us.
Yeah.
Is what my thought is. Okay, I'm gonna go up to the roof of this thing. Do I feel like I can be seen from there?
As a normal sized spider?
Or no, as myself.
Oh, as yourself. Yeah, there are definitely gonna be angles where someone could see you.
Could see me, or like will obviously see me.
Because so people are kind of moving around, some people are training, and so it just kind of would depend on, if they happen to catch
glimpse
catch
of
a glimpse
movement.
of you moving around or something like that.
Okay, so with Pass Without Trace still up, I'm gonna kind of like go back to the woods, and then I'm going to summon 8.
8 horses.
What's a really annoying animal? I'm gonna summon 8 really pissed off baboons
Badgers.
or badgers to just ransack one building. Like they just go and they're just attacking the shit out of that building over there.
Okay. Okay. Well, I am not going to play out a combat.
No,
but they
that's
will
okay.
immediately be attacked by the monks
Sure,
there.
sure. I just need the distraction, not like I'm not thinking they will win.
Okay. So the baboons are attacking which building?
Whichever one she's not in. Because there was like
Okay.
2, there was like one across
There's
from
3 buildings
Yeah.
plus the lotus
Mm-hmm.
rock thing. Okay. So,
And then I'm going to try and dispel magic on the door, Nias.
and you're standing in front of the door? Or you're on
I
the
just have to
roof?
see it.
So are you on the roof or are you walking up to the door?
I'm like on the side of the building while the baboons are attacking.
As you kind of peek around the edge of a building, 2 monks are standing at the doors to that
Okay.
building. They did not go and tend to the baboons.
Okay. Well, dispel magic has no physical, so I can still try it, right?
You could still try it.
Okay. Dispel magic.
Okay. And then you're going back into a spider and trying to get in?
If I feel that it worked,
If you feel like the
like is the
This-
magical barrier
so-
still up?
it feels like it's still up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back into the woods and try and find them.
Good try.
Yeah. I'm gonna send up another raven and being like, "Hey, I'm here whenever you're within like think range or whatever." I don't know how to hook up with them.
Okay. You are hanging around, avoiding the people kind of looking around when they do ping on your radar. And if you want to go to them, you can join them where they are at. Okay, so the 2 monks are appearing to throw these bodies to the oozes so the oozes can consume them.
Ugh.
And these are monks that look like the other monks.
They're dressed in the fitted black clothing, wearing white robes with a lotus in a circle.
I don't think I would have reached them by now. Would I?
We can line it up to where you're reaching them as
I just
they're...
run up to you guys as a cheetah and be like, "Hey guys."
Bet.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just checking. Oozes.
What about?
They're about to be fed bodies.
Why would good monks have a bunch of dead bodies?
I don't think we ever thought that they were good monks.
And then I will fill you guys in that I know where Naya's being kept, but it's like Fort Knox. I couldn't get it.
And then, so I look.
I don't know how they're doing ventilation, but
Magic.
I look at Benlin and go, so we start blasting as like the second.
well, I was hoping you guys had a plan of some kind.
I got this. And I hold up the book.
You got the book out of Candlekeep?
No, I made the book.
It's a fake.
Can I make like a perception or insight to see if I realize it's a fake?
Sure.
See how good
But
it is?
she just told you it was, so...
Well, no, I mean like as I looked at it.
Oh, okay.
Like-
yeah.
4. I think that's great. That's fantastic.
I'm gonna fall for that one.
I mean, it was still at 16, but I want to fail.
So what do we do with these monks?
Do we need to do anything? I mean, it's an noxious
They're
smell, but-
talking loudly. They don't really need to, like, they're not worried about...
The bodies are definitely dead.
Yeah.
Do either of them look like the stooge that came with what's his face?
No.
Are
Okay.
the bodies wearing any?
Sure.
One's wearing armor and the other's wearing a gown.
They're wearing some, whatever clothes they were killed in.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't think it's worth fighting these ones.
I, on the other hand, think if we dispose of these 2 monks and get rid of these oozes, that when we inevitably mess something up later and have to fight our way out, these are 4 less things we have to fight.
Agreed.
My only concern is that we're going to use resources to dispatch them before we actually find out what we're up against.
And I don't like fighting oozes.
What time of day is it right now?
So you guys all got here around dusk.
Okay. We fight them, make camp, and then reassess tomorrow. I don't know. I don't see this.
Are we on a
ending
time crunch?
without being exhausted.
So you guys are still,
We still
are
have one more day.
24 hours in. Yeah, so you're between 24 and 36 hours in to the 2 days.
So we need to show up tomorrow.
So the next morning, late morning was about the 2 days of timeline.
Are we going to set off an alarm if these two don't return?
Exactly. I have.
Alternatively, how effective are our magic users at looking like these two?
Just the disguise self. That's what I was gonna. So I actually want to look like, Stooge Man, who came with Steel Crane.
Okay.
And I will snap, and my armor will turn into their.
Robes.
Yep.
But you still look like you're.
I don't have disguise self.
Okay, I just want to make sure. That's cool then.
Can I wild shape into one of them?
I want to chip into an ooze.
Carol has the
Into a
gift of
stooge.
gab, so
Oh, wait,
Carol has
where are
what?
we?
he has the gift of gab, so I'm
That's
not worried
true.
about his physical appearance not looking.
You have that spell?
Yeah.
It's a good spell.
Glibness.
Well, no, there's also Gift of Gab.
So wait,
Oh,
what
there's no
are we doing?
I think you and I are waiting out here for a signal.
What are we doing?
I was gonna go and ask them. Does my voice change when I do disguise self?
It doesn't?
No.
Oh, shit.
I'm really not sure about that.
Hold on, let me look at disguise self.
As you guys are kind of talking, the monks finish throwing the bodies to the oozes and they walk on.
Which direction are they going back to the
They're
temple?
going back to the compound.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't change voice.
It's illusion.
How do we fight oozes? Because now it's just the two oozes that.
Well, we were making this plan, so like, can't we just ambush them or like follow them and ambush them somewhere else?
I mean,
I just don't want to get the oozes in.
What plan were we making aside from maybe attacking them?
I was gonna try and get information from them.
And my plan was, is if we take these two guys out, you can replace them.
I can do that tomorrow. Hey, you there! Hold up!
Huh? Who's that?
And I'll walk out, looking like
We just saw you back there. What are you doing out here?
Walk away.
no. Well, I can guide myself.
I'll keep my cloak up and walk with her.
And who's this?
Steel Crane sent us to find you.
Who is this?
That you haven't heard of Simon?
Assistance? Oh wait, can I?
I try to look like a Simon.
I'll pull my hood back and I'll say, not every path has yet been revealed.
What's that supposed to be?
These are terrible monks.
Jay Tyrus doesn't tell us anything. We got new guys coming out of the woodwork.
That's 32 for my persuasion.
All right, your cryptic quote.
Because mine's a 2.
Oh no.
Did you hand the book to anybody?
sacred flame.
No.
Sacred
It's there.
flame?
Right, this one right here.
I mean, I
Is
have it
that
hidden.
trigger edition
Yep.
then?
It's a hostile
Fifth
action.
level erupting earth.
I'm sorry, Simon.
All right.
It's all right, Stooge.
Because me and Bo are just fucking done with these motherfucking monks in this
I'm
motherfucking
motherfucking
compound.
So,
I'm sorry, guys. I tried to plan. I can make things.
Initiative.
Helena,
Jizz.
it is 9:52, and if we're gonna do an after party, I do have to go to.
Let's go ahead. Okay, so we can go ahead and now, or I guess we could
Take down initiative.
do this takedown initiative. Do we want to fight a little?
Well, just how long is it gonna be a difficult fight, or do you think they're gonna go down like chumps?
Well, I mean, it's.
We're probably going to aggro the oozes, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well,
we purposely said that we were waiting until they were away from the oozes.
That we're walking
did
away.
he say that? Because I didn't say that.
Well, no,
They
Helena
had
said she that they
started
were
walking
walking away.
away.
They were going back to the
I'm gonna say, let me pull that out. I'm gonna say they got to maybe here when
Okay.
you called out to them. Okay, so let's go ahead and
I can
I can take down initiative, and then we
I'll
can
keep note on it too. Okay.
Page.
With advantage.
Yep. With advantage, that's a 23.
Wow. All right, Cindy.
15.
Belle.
19.
And
Sorry,
Ellen.
18.
18. Emily.
9.
And Carol.
16.
Okay.
Do I get more?
And so what is your dexterity,
Me?
Carol?
My dexterity is a shoot. Come back to me, buddy. +4. 18.
Okay.
Do our opening attacks go off, or do we want to handle that next?
I'm gonna say bows goes off. Yeah.
Yeet.
Let's go ahead and do that. Or will it mess us up if we do that spell now? Okay.
Dex saving throw.
Alrighty, for both of them, or just
The southernmost one.
I'm sorry, dexterity you said?
Yep.
16. No! Fuck you!
It's
Does my erupting earth go off?
No, I would say his spell goes off, but then initiative order will take over after that. So nothing happens?
Nope.
Or, okay. All right, awesome. That's where we'll end tonight on the cusp of violence.
Yay!
Thank you so much to our patrons. Sparky, Dossivid, Dutsgrass, Rockelman, Rio's mom, Daniel, Meepo, Dream Lover, Duke Rellin, Eric Fox, Alistair, and Taco Arcana. I just tried to don't look again. Thank you guys so much for your support. Hey, all you guys on YouTube, follow us, subscribe, like videos, do the comment thing if you want to.
And thank you to our newest subscriber on Twitch.
Thank you to our new subscriber on Twitch.
Lago 18.
Say it
Kit
again.
Lago 18.
Kit Lago 18.
That sounds cool. Like
I keep wanting to say
vacation
Kit
spot.
Largo, but it's
Yeah.
not.
I think it sounds like a vacation spot.
Key Largo.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Awesome. This has been the beginning of the Book of Inner Alchemy. Thank you so much, and we'll come up with a tagline eventually.
Eventually.
Good night, everybody.
Yes.